Rogério. I'm here. I collect. I have a collection. I don't pick up from the nature, but I have a collection of orchids. I like to collect, to have in my collection native orchids, mainly because it's much easier to cultivate as they are in their natural habitat or natural environment. I have received a delivery yesterday of Cattleya tigrina. Cattleya tigrina is a plant that grows from Rio, more or less south of Rio, until probably Uruguay and Argentina, I believe. I'm not sure about that, but it's common all over the southern and some of the southeast states of Brazil. One of the things that I've never heard you talk about, you people from abroad, is that we call them caneludas. What does it mean? It means a long shin. So as you can see, this is about 2 feet tall. It's the tallest one I bought for this time. It had flowers when I bought them. It had a spike here, it had flowers. And I chose exactly the plant I wanted online, and unfortunately it doesn't, they send once a week, and they have to let it dry completely, the roots. So I didn't see the flowers here, but I trust the growers. It's called Orquidário Olímpia in Rio Grande do Sul, which is the southeast state in Brazil. And they send me, I have always been very lucky and happy with them, with the plants they send. I believe they have, the orchidarium was created by a Japanese man called Akira. I'm not sure if it's the first generation or if he was born here, but anyway, his name is Akira. He has got some plants named after him. And I'm very happy to buy from them. This is a Cattleya tigrina trilabellum. You're not going to see here. But anyway, it's a Cattleya leopoldii. They call it leopoldii because there was a confusion. The plant was first registered as Cattleya tigrina, and then a few years later, when it went to Europe, and King Leopold of Belgium, he fell in love with the plant, and they decided to, those people decided to register it. And they didn't know that it had already been registered. They registered as Cattleya leopoldii. And many people here in Brazil call it Leopold, but the real accepted name is Cattleya tigrina. And as I was telling you, it's called the caneluda. Caneluda is the shin, canela is the shin of the part of the leg, and it's basically called long legs. They can reach about 3 feet high. I haven't seen it, actually I have seen, yes, I have seen once a very, 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 very tall plant, and it was fantastic. This orchidarium, they try, like a lot of the orchidariums I like, they grow plants as naturally as possible. What do I mean by that? They don't use many artificial fertilizers, and they try to toughen up, I think it's the word I want to use, toughen up the plant so that it grows at diverse conditions. And as you can see, some of the old bulbs are a little bit rough, a little bit dry for my taste. The leaves are also dried. It had a little bit of sphagnum here. This plant in particular, it's already a cut from another plant. As you can see here, maybe it has been cut from another plant. The back bulbs are already adults or almost adults, which is also a sign that it was not a seedling when it was planted this time. And has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bulbs, which means that it's a very old plant, and it was not cheap. It was one of the dearest that I have bought already in my life, but it's not an absurd of price. Some people charge a lot for something which is not as special. It comes from the south of the country, and they are exceptional. I want to show you something else. For example, this is also cut, and you can see that the oldest bulb is very big, and the plant here, I don't know if you can see, it flowered on this bulb. Can you see here? Sorry. On this bulb, and after that it had one bulb here, and one bulb here, and the three newest bulbs didn't flower because it was a cut, and it took a little while to readapt. Oh, there was a side growth here as well, but it's dead now. It's not growing. But anyway, this one is very, very cheap, I think. The problem with the buying from distant places, of course, is the shipping price, which sometimes you have to buy a lot of things. This is a caramel tigrina. I bought tigrina and bought another plant that I'm going to show you soon. But another thing that I want to show you there's an eye here, and I hope it grows on the side here. I'm going to fertilize it for shooting here. Perhaps there's another eye here, and there's another eye, certainly one or two in the newest bulb, and we have to take extra care about the plant and make sure that it will develop well. What did I want to show you? This, can you see here? It's very damaged. Has been damaged sometime in the past, but it healed completely. It's completely dry. It's a very old damage, and the leaf is almost perfect. It's very good. It's not dehydrated. Doesn't have many roots at the back, but that's not a problem. Probably died recently, and I hope it's gonna flower magnificently. It's another one here, the same thing. You see, the root system is not very clean and tidy and neat. You need to cut out some of the old roots. Some people say, don't cut out the old roots. You never know if it's gonna reshoot. The roots are gonna sprout back here, bifurcate, and etc. And it happens again. It's a cut, so it's an adult plant. There's another one. It's new roots growing here. So it's a right time of the year to repot them. Sorry. Another one which was an adult plant. This one hasn't flowered yet. But I'm gonna show you. I'm just showing you that because I really like the grower, and it's a very good sized plant. It's naturally grown the way I like. I don't like when I see plants that have been cultivated almost as in a lab, and they come with perfect roots, perfect bulbs, perfect leaves. It's all very well if you have perfect conditions to grow them. And perfect weather, for example. But in this case, I know that the plant is tough, right? They can thrive in my environment, in my climate, very well. So I'm gonna plant them. I'm gonna use this vase. Can you see? It's very perforated. There's loads of airing. Cattleya tigrina, they like a humid environment, but they don't like to keep their roots very wet very often. And I find that this is the perfect pot to pot them, to plant them, right? I'm also gonna mount them, and I'm gonna couple them to the vase. So they're gonna be mounted here, more or less at the base. The roots are gonna be at the bottom. Perhaps I'm going to use some sphagnum here, sphagnum moss, or something to keep the humidity while it's growing. It's adapting itself. And then I'm going to put some styrofoam because the vase is already a little bit heavy with the trunk, with the branch, and so it's going to be here. I like to do that because it grows much more. It has much more time to grow and develop here, so I don't need to be changing or cutting or whatever. And I'm going to use stones as well. And my special mix, which is soaking here in the rooting agent fertilizer, which is pinus bark. It's the bark of pinus. Charcoal, which is always I always use it. And there's got some, let me show you here, macadamia shells, cracked, well cracked. I don't like them when they are halved. It should be cracked. Very good supplier, this one actually. And what do I say? Charcoal, I have said that already once. The only time I saw charcoal being used outside of Brazil is in Thailand. And what they had the vandas. They were hanging with bare roots, and on the ground they had loads of charcoal. Because they water the plants, charcoal absorbs the water, and then they release more slowly along the time. But recently I also have heard from some very professional growers, because they keep secrets. They don't like to tell all the truth, everything that they have been trying. Sometimes they have been trying things, and it's not very wise to say, oh, I do like this, I do like that, because it works. And sometimes it works for some people, sometimes it doesn't. But anyhow, they put charcoal because I already suspected that. But charcoal, supposedly, it's, how do I say, fungicide. So it repels fungi in the roots. Second, they absorb the water and releases it slowly, but they also absorb nutrients. So if you're watering, if you use some fertilizer with water-based in the water, so you put in the pot, most of it is going to be wasted because it's going to drain. If you put a charcoal, it absorbs a little bit more than pinus, and it does release it slowly. And third, and most importantly, snails don't like charcoal. All right, it's a secret. So when I have charcoal, I haven't found snails in my pots. So it's might be a coincidence, but I don't think so. So I gotta go now, and I'm gonna pot the plant, and I'll show you later, okay?